Good evening, people of YouTube. How are we all doing today? Yes, I am here now in the flesh, and I'm trying out a different type of video. This one is just looking at the E4, the Tier 10 American Tank Destroyer. I finally got the T30 all sorted, and well, I got it sorted a while ago, and it's actually quite a decent tank. But I haven't taken it out in a very long time, so I thought I'd give it a shot. One of the reasons I haven't taken it out is I do find Tier 10 a bit boring to play, but it's a tank I've come across on a very few occasions. And I did kind of miss playing it. I do miss playing my E3. I love my E3. So I wanted to give this another shot and see how things go. Playing on Thiepval Ridge, in the E4 obviously. We're going to be playing aggressively. There is artillery in the game, so hopefully we'll find ourselves going absolutely nowhere near that. But this is a game where artillery has quite a good shot of an opportunity to be able to get you. One of the first things I'm going to be doing is trying to go hold down as much as possible. I will be getting a bit of help from my team behind me, who are, as I'm looking at the map, actually moving with me for once, which kind of makes a bit of a difference. It's not always every game that you find yourself playing in that people decide to follow you, but if you lead by example, they do end up coming towards and gravitating towards. It's like the E4 has some kind of moonlight gravitational field, and people do get themselves drawn towards it. Fortunately, in this case, looking at the radar every now and then, that is the case that's happening. This is by far one of the best places I've found for a hold down E4. As it turns out, not much of a chance to shoot anything though, because everything's decided to go into cover. The only thing I really have a good shot at is possibly the E50 on the ridge, but I'm still kind of in the open and wary of the artillery being there. I wouldn't mind going back towards where my team actually are to get some shots on, but then again I know there's possible tanks to the right hand side. This is, because it's an actual TDM match, it's one where people don't have to capture a flag or go out and specifically get an objective. It's played slightly differently. People seem to be more forward in their play. They actually want to go out and try and kill you. Whereas before you'll have E100 sitting on base in an encounter map because they're the perfect sniper. Lol 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 lol, says no one ever. So we're just using it as an example. The game itself didn't turn out to be like a massive amount of damage. But again, very similar to the 1-2-1 game I had as a previous video. People actually working together as a team, and you can find yourself going into games and dominating everything. I am aware of the Jag Tiger 88, so am I right? I'm also aware of the E50 back in the middle again. But fortunately, because of the team that are behind me and the unlikely nature that I'm actually going to get shot from the left hand side, I'm still going to go forward and take a couple of shots into him. Well, obviously one shot, and let other people finish it off. Keeping my eye on the T34 behind me, but he's going to get flanked and end up getting killed. So what I'll do is just push forward and use the armour to my advantage. There you go with the red shot. From a possible medium. Really poor shot. Oh, it was a heavy, would you believe that? Chieftain, never mind, yeah. Really good tank that, by the way. So again, just pushing forward, making sure we actually have the team to follow up behind us. It does happen on a regular basis. You'll go forward by yourself and think, oh, this is a fantastic manoeuvre, and then find, oh, people have decided not to follow me. Not ideal. Leaving the 110 as it is for the kill. My reload is not something I want to be wasting on a 200 HP tier 8 tank, and I'd rather go forward and take out a chieftain that's decided to show his rear armour. Thank you very much, pal. I'll drop you for about 800 plus damage, which, having said that, is quite an average roll for this tank. I seem to be hitting sub 850, maybe even 900 on some occasions. It never seemed to drop below 800, which I do appreciate RNG doing that for me. It's been very, very nice. If we could keep it up and maybe not cause me to bounce in the E5 on a regular basis, you know, bit of to and fro. Coming up on Conqueror, yes, I do end up getting a low roll, but he is only 741 HP, so we can't actually count that one. As it is, oh my god, I just look at the time. We've been playing like 3.5 minutes and we're already winning 8-2, so you can kind of see how well the team has just steamrolled everyone else going forward. And again, because everyone's moving forward as a team and a unit, people seem to be directing the fire at the most obvious tanks they need to hit. By the way, this shot on the E50 didn't count because apparently it bounced, but it told me it did pen, but you'll hear on the voices that he says that I didn't bounce. How? I don't know. Strong armor, because RNG. I really couldn't explain it. It looked like it did or should have gone through. It must have been a very, very difficult shot to actually hit. Final part of the game, 4 tanks left, including the artillery. This is a very, very good example of being able to pick out tanks and know their reload. Currently, the tank that I'm going to be coming up against is the Death Star. The Death Star normally has about a 28 to 30 second reload. If you stick on your gun rammer into it can go down to 25 seconds. So when you notice that the tank actually fires, you have to count that yourself. Now obviously I know they reloaded the E4 as well, so I know that I can probably get a double shot in before he's able to return one. So we count down now, in about 4 seconds, I know I can get a shot into him, possibly another one, and then my reload is still just, and I mean literally, just in time. His reload is probably going to complete within half a second to a second of my own completing, so if I can get the shot into him and get out into cover, then it's unlikely that he'll be able to get the shot off on me. I have had snapshot in Death Stars itself, so I try to make sure that I get the shot in pen, and just before he fires, I don't know if it'll look like he did fire, got saved by the bell. Nice little medium play coming up over the top, getting the finishing kill on him. Oh my god, it was just literally, it was minuscule and being so damn close to being killed myself. Got very fortunate with that. Probably left it a bit like cutting the edge, but again, counting the reload, making sure I know that what it is I'm going to try and do is going to work. And you can use it on tanks where you know the reload's going to be a very long time. Death Star, Waffle, pretty much any of the tier 10 tank destroyers. Maybe not so much the Object 263, just on the fact because it's got a low alpha, it is able to then actually get a decent amount of rate of fire down the range. Final tank in the game, tier 9, Type 4 heavy. Yeah, he's gone. End up winning the game 15-4. A 5-minute game. That's literally all it was, a 5-minute game. That is an example of how it is that the team can push forward and all support each other. Similar to the 1-2-1 game again. Not an amazing amount of damage, but overall I think we played rather well. What was it now? We lost to Lorraine, VK40 Bravo, Conqueror and a Type 4 Heavy. That's all we lost in terms of tanks, they're just the tier 9s. And you can see there's quite a good damage spread between the... Let's have a look, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, about the top 5-6 people on the leaderboard have got the massive share of damage. Kind of obvious that the tank destroyer, me, myself and the Waffle would actually get that, but then again, that's still quite a good decent amount of damage, especially from the Waffle not being shot and killed early on. He would have been a very pivotal point. That tank is not OP.
What the fuck?
Yeah, I did say that. But anyways, hopefully you enjoyed the video and you like the new style. I will be trying to do a few more. I will be getting a bit more light coming towards me because I think it's underexposed quite a bit, but that's just because the light's over there. So again, if you enjoyed the video, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and I shall see you guys later.